Hold on, I'm telling my TikTok followers not to fight with each other. What's up, you guys? It has been a hot freaking second since I have filmed anything for YouTube, but listen, I'm on maternity leave right now. I'm not supposed to be doing anything super invasive and super physical, so what better time to sit down and get some YouTube content recorded? I am sitting in the baby's nursery right now. I am in here pretty much like half of the day. I just love being in here. It's not fully done yet. We should be wrapping everything up pretty soon, just hanging up like the rest of their decor. And we're having a custom table built for us, and then we are ready for the babies to get here. So this is my first time going through like, you know, a full term pregnancy. Obviously with my first pregnancy was ectopic and I lost it. Let me tell you, the third trimester is the worst. Take me back to the second. So I'm having pregnancy carpal tunnel. I've pretty much lost complete feeling in all of my fingers. And then my hands go numb up to my elbows throughout the day. So like straightening my hair this morning was a complete process. It has not been fun. I'm swollen in pretty much all areas and I'm holding on to like a lot of water retention and fluid. So yay. Also on like a really good note, the twins are measuring pretty much identical to each other. And when you have twin pregnancies, one generally is smaller than the other. So that's great news. It just means I'm super large and basically measuring where like a 40-week singleton would be ready to deliver, and I am still about 7 weeks out. So pray for all of us, especially my sweet dear husband who has to deal with me crying every night. It's fine. Everything's fine. Okay, so for this video, I asked my Instagram and TikTok followers to ask whatever questions they had and that I would sit down and answer them. So in no specific order, I'm just gonna go through and pull up what was asked and by who and answer the question. Okay, so these three questions came from Logan Jade 13 over on Instagram. The first one, how long were you TTC'ing for? So we TTC'd with our first round of Clomid back in August of 2020. That was our wedding month actually. Was not successful on that round of Clomid. We TTC'd again in September of 2020 on another round of Clomid and were successful in that round. However, it was ectopic and was terminated. I had surgery in November. Once I was cleared and recovered from that, our first cycle TTC and again was in January of 2020, which was successful, and that is the pregnancy that we are on now with our twin boys. Second question, if you didn't conceive naturally, what other options were you open to? This one's a little complicated for me to answer because I honestly wasn't thinking about it at the time. I was just weighing the option that we had now to do about 6 months of Clomid, and I was just very hopeful that it would be successful at some point. However, if I had to give an answer to it, I think obviously we would have explored IUI or IVF. Some doctors give you the option to jump over the IUI and go straight to IVF. Okay, third question from Logan Jade. Are these babies, do you want more kids? I think she's asking if we want more kids. How long will you be waiting to try again? So when you have endometriosis, your time frame of where you can go with unmedicated cycles can be dangerous. If I were to go too long without trying again, once I started cycling again, I'd more than likely have to have another surgery. And honestly, I'm just not up for that unless like we're done and it's hysterectomy time. I don't want to go back in for another surgery. So we'll see. We definitely want to try one more time for sure. I think both of us would enjoy having a girl. However, if we didn't get a girl, we'd probably stop at baby number 3. Okay, question from Amber_Bell09. How long have you been married for? Matt and I are actually celebrating our 2-year wedding anniversary on July 24th. So Matt and I got married back in 2019 at the courthouse. It was just us. It was a very like intimate, quick ordeal. We were planning to have a wedding later down the road with our friends and family. However, COVID struck and our entire wedding had to be replanned. So we did get our wedding in August of 2020. It wasn't how we originally planned, but it was great and I wouldn't have it any other way. Okay, from Sarah_Schwartz, pregnancy after loss, when does the fear of miscarriage go away? Honestly, I don't think it ever really does. There are still times, I'm 29, 30 weeks pregnant now, and there are still times where I'm like, okay, I just feel like something could go wrong, but honestly, you're considered at that safe spot once you hit viability week at 24 weeks. Some women say it goes away around the 12-week mark is when you feel safe, but I don't really think there's ever a point in time where you feel 100% validated and safe in your pregnancy until you are physically holding that baby after a loss, and that's completely okay. You're allowed to feel that fear. From A.Gibbs, how did you handle and / what worked for your first trimester symptoms? So first trimester, I obviously was going through like the waves of nausea. The two things that I did with that was, so first things first, to treat nausea, I was prescribed something. Oh my gosh, pregnancy brain, I cannot remember what it was called. But anyways, I did not like at all how that medication made me feel. Let me go look up what it was. That took me longer than I'd like to admit to look up. It was called Bodengesta. And when I took this medication, I felt like an absolute zombie. I could sleep, I'm not even kidding, anywhere from 12 to 18 hours a day and night. I was exhausted. So I stopped taking that medication and went more of a natural route, and I was wearing the No-Mo nausea bracelets. I'm actually partnered with that company. I'll put some information down below. Is he serious right now? Oliver! Anyways, as I was blah blah blah. Anyways, as I was saying, I am partnered with No-Mo Nausea, and I have a discount code that you guys can utilize if you are struggling with nausea. From Jess_Teskey, did you have a lot of anxiety in the beginning of this pregnancy after your ectopic? 1000% yes. I was so scared that one, obviously it was going to happen again. We were getting multiple ultrasounds throughout the beginning, so we knew right away that it wasn't ectopic, but the fear of miscarriage was obviously still in the back of my mind. I was super worried that anything that I would do would cause something bad to happen with my pregnancy, and honestly, I just had to reassure myself every single day that, like, I deserve this. I'm going to have a healthy full-term pregnancy. This is going to work out, and just keep a positive mindset about it. I know that sounds super, like, okay, cool, but it really does help just waking up every day and reminding yourself that you deserve this pregnancy. You're going to carry this baby. Everything's going to be okay, and obviously if something isn't, contact your doctor and get in right away. From Lucid Moon, do you have a problem eating a whole meal? I'm 31 weeks and can barely finish my half portion. Yes, I did not know this was a thing with pregnancy. I thought that you were hungry, you could eat all this food and go about your business. No, it takes me forever to eat like my normal size portions that I would have ate pre-pregnancy. And it's just because everything's like shuffled up here, and so the space in your stomach is less than what it would normally be. I'm not a doctor, obviously. I just came up with that explanation for it. Yes, it's very difficult to eat a full portion meal. I'll have to eat a little bit, take a break, let my food digest, and then continue to eat more because I'm hungry. I just get full way quicker. Break time. Super extra fun thing about pregnancy is you are constantly out of breath. Like, I feel like I'm working out. I'm just sitting here doing a YouTube video. Okay, from Lucy Ale 17, people are saying to rehome my cats. I love them. Pregnant shouldn't matter, right? I can see both sides to it. We have two cats, Mila and Oliver. We've had them, Oliver for 5 years now, and Mila for about 4. Those were our children prior to children. So we would do every single thing that we possibly could to make it work before we jump to that just rehoming them phase. Like, I love those cats. I wouldn't just rehome them. However, if your pets are showing some extreme aggression to your babies once they arrive, then that's when that discussion comes up where you're like, okay, what do we do? But I think you really should work on doing everything that you possibly can before jumping to that option of rehoming them. Their world is changing just as much as yours is. This isn't natural for them. This isn't the environment that they're used to. You're adding a whole other human being to it. Especially with cats, it'd be no different if when you bring another cat home, you have to go through that like adjustment period. So maybe it could be something that just for a couple weeks takes them some time to adjust to. But Oliver, no. Okay, from Ellie Mashburn, did you already have names picked out before you were pregnant? Ha! So the funny part of this is we had one girl name picked out, and I'm pregnant with twin boys. So that didn't really work. So we were set on one girl name. We've had this name picked out for years. First, middle, obviously the last name Wolf. So no, we had no boy names picked out prior to pregnancy. It was very difficult for us to come up with their names. One, we were kind of tinkering around with the idea, and that is one of the baby's names, but you will find out once they are here what those are. From Tay_Cruz08, tips going into doctor after loss, questions to ask for next steps. So one, I think it's most important to figure out if there is any testing as to why you lost your pregnancy. Ectopic obviously is usually linked to endometriosis. Once again, not a doctor, just saying that off the record. But if you're miscarrying, if there is any testing that they can do to figure out exactly why, a lot of times there's just no explanation for it. I personally think it's very important to go into your doctor with very serious expectations that you plan to get pregnant again. What can we do to ensure that can happen? And if you don't feel like you're getting the appropriate care or response from your doctor, find a new doctor. All right, jumping over to the questions that came from my TikTok followers. First, from Rainbow Chasing, what are you looking forward to most once the babies are here? Honestly, I am so freaking excited for my babies to be here. I count down days. I'm most interested obviously as to what they're gonna look like. If they're gonna look more like me, if they're gonna look more like Matt, are they gonna look like the same? How life is just gonna be like completely different with them here. I think I'm also most excited just to see how our family interacts with them and just like bringing a baby into our family. So these are the first grandchildren on like all ends of the spectrum for both of us. So I think it'll be super cool to get to see our family like interact with the babies and just bring in new people to our family. From A Pool Fam, do you plan to breastfeed? Yes, I plan to breastfeed and pump as needed. Hopefully that all works out. From Steph Trullo 97, how many cycles were you on Clomid for? So 2 rounds of Clomid, got pregnant, was ectopic. 1 more round of Clomid was this pregnancy with the twins. From Destiny Rayner, are your twins going to be identical? So we did not know that our twins do have the chances of being identical. This entire pregnancy, we thought that DD twins meant that they were automatically fraternal, and that's what we've been telling people. That has nothing to do with it. That just is based on the number of sacs and placentas that there are. So I think we're gonna see, first of all, when they come out, if they are vastly similar, like we can't tell them apart, then obviously that would give us a given that they're identical. If they come out and look nothing alike, that'll give us our in that they're fraternal, and we might explore some genetic testing down the road if we're unsure, but I think for right now, we're just gonna leave as is. All right, friends, I think that answered all of the questions that we had. If you were interested in following along my daily life where I have more daily content, follow both my Instagram and TikTok. I will pop them somewhere on the screen here. And I try to respond to all the DMs and comments that I get on my videos. I do my best, if I'm being honest, so.